You ended up making the movie you wanted to make.
Very much so, yeah.
Which is rare.
Very, very rare. I waited until I got the right financing, the right people that would allow us to make the movie we wanted to make.
The movie Leonardo DiCaprio was so desperate to make was The Wolf of Wall Street. It's a vibrant and polarizing look at the greed and excess of the bull market of the 1990s.
I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every time.
Especially one charismatic, almost cult-like broker named Jordan Belfort.
I show up in the back of a limo wearing a $2,000 suit and a $40,000 gold watch.
He said that it wasn't really until he started doing those speeches that you sort of got the sense of that rock star quality that he had.
Yeah, they're almost like out of Gladiator or Braveheart. They're like a war cry to your troops, except they're completely twisted and encouraging his soldiers to go out there and screw over as many people as possible.
I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
DiCaprio was intrigued by Belfort's autobiography, an unvarnished tale of drug abuse and abuse of his clients, cheating investors out of millions before going to prison for securities fraud and money laundering. How much time did you actually spend with Jordan Belfort?
Many months. Certainly he helped me with a lot of the Quaalude sequences because I had no idea what this stuff was like.
All right, think, what else is there? Yes, I can crawl.
He reenacted a lot of that for me, but...
Did he actually,
Yeah, he crawled around on the floor and showed me what it was like.
I've got it. I can roll.
Did you like him?
You know, he's a likable guy. I think a lot of his actions were deplorable, and he'll admit that. But when somebody's such an open book and is so candid about what they did and unflinching, you have to appreciate that as an actor because there's not many people that really do that.
DiCaprio shopped the movie around for 7 years. No takers. Even director Martin Scorsese was reluctant at first.
Leo was the one who stayed on the project. He would just keep coming around, telling me more about the project.
He was pretty persistent.
Ways. Yes. I said, all right, I'll look at it again. I said, but please, don't let me even read it if there's no possibility of doing the picture the way it should be made.
Why so obsessed?
Because the world that we live in seems to be very surreal sometimes. This incessant need for more is a part of our culture, and I see it all around me. And, you know, in doing this movie, we wanted to put that darker nature of humanity up on screen.
His persistence paid off. His performance has already earned him a Golden Globe.
First and foremost, I have to thank Mr. Martin Scorsese. Thank you for allowing me to stalk you into making this movie.
And he's up for an Oscar.
For Best Performance by an Actor, Leonardo DiCaprio.
His 4th nomination for acting, and one of 5 nominations for the film itself.
On this picture, he is, it's the role of a lifetime, really. I mean, he's just taken it to another level.
Scorsese should know. This is their 5th picture together, and almost all of them have dealt with the darker side of human nature.
An airplane with the ability to fly into the substratosphere.
DiCaprio played the reclusive Howard Hughes in The Aviator.
I got a hell of a cold in here. A hell of a cold, so why don't you just take a seat out there? Because, you know, I don't want to get you sick.
And he portrayed an undercover Irish cop in The Departed.
You accused me once. I put up with it. You accused me twice. I quit.
My parents are from here, and there's really a spontaneity to this city that is amazing.
DiCaprio has an apartment in New York, but his fascination with crime and power, he says, actually goes back to growing up in the not-so-nice part of Hollywood. You talk about there were times when you'd rather just stay at home than go out because it was just safer to stay at home.
Yeah, I had a prostitution ring on my street corner. There were drug addicts in my alleyway. There was I got sort of robbed at 5 years old or something like that.
5 years old?
Yeah. It was a pretty hardcore neighborhood, and I think that gave me a lot of motivation to sort of, I think, be successful really and try to do something else.
Because you wanted out of that environment.
Yeah, I did.
You never went to acting school, though.
Mm-mm. Well, I did, and I went to drama class in junior high and high school, but I never had sort of formal training or anything like that, no.
So where did all this come from?
I grew up in a kind of an artistic household. I was always kind of imitating my dad's friends, and I would imitate everyone around us in the neighborhood. I'd do that, carry that over in school, and get into a lot of trouble constantly. Once I found out that people actually got paid for this, I was like, all right.
He started bugging his mom to take him to auditions, while his father helped engender an interest in film.
I remember my father taking me, I believe it was maybe to Midnight Run, and saying, "You want to know what a great actor is? Yeah, you want to watch a great actor, Leonardo?" I go, yeah, sure, he's that guy right there.
That actor was Robert De Niro, as luck would have it, DiCaprio's eventual co-star in his very first film, This Boy's Life.
I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I sure do.
I'd never seen a set that serious before. Watching De Niro prepare and you know, the chances that he would take with each scene, that it wasn't just about reading the dialogue, that it was about, you know, creating something out of thin air.
DiCaprio made an impression on De Niro, too. So much so, De Niro actually told Martin Scorsese to keep an eye on the new up-and-comer.
Normally, Bob, you know, doesn't call me or tell me, to talk to me about actors that I should work with. This was sort of out of the blue.
If anyone had any doubt he was different, DiCaprio proved it, playing an intellectually disabled boy in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Do the siren, okay?
His portrayal earned him his first Oscar nod at just 19. And then everything changed. His boyish face made him a teen heartthrob in Romeo and Juliet.
And Juliet is the sun.
And then came this. Titanic made box office history and made DiCaprio a worldwide sensation.
I'm the king of the world!
I look back at that time and it's hilarious, because the movie comes out and all of a sudden people start seeing it around the world. It's incredibly successful, and people are saying, you know, Leo, this movie is huge. And I'm like, great, cool, isn't that what it's supposed to be? They're like, no, you don't understand. I mean, it's making billions of dollars. I'm like, so that's good, right? Billions of dollars are good. I mean, this is a big movie.
You just didn't get the scale at all.
I didn't understand. I really didn't.
All these ideas in my head.
DiCaprio not only became bankable talent, but the new darling of the paparazzi. You had a lot of fun when you were young.
Sure, of course. I did. I had a lot of fun.
And criticized for it a lot, too.
Yeah, I think that comes with the territory, too, though. I mean, and the sort of microscope that was put on me, certainly after Titanic came out. You know, every activity that I did was sort of in the newspaper, which was, you know, silly, and I tried to avoid, but it was what it was.
Still, for an actor who could do anything he wanted, he chose his roles sparingly. He became a student of film history.
He tells me, did you ever see this film called Solaris by Andrei Tarkovsky? Now, here's this kid at 23 or 22 years old talking about Andrei Tarkovsky.
So do you think he's a bit of an old soul?
Maybe. You know, there seems to be a lot of experience there. You're right, an old soul.
Now, at 39, he remains not only one of Hollywood's hottest commodities, but a very eligible bachelor. He's hardly lacking for someone, usually a model, on his arm, but any talk of marriage prompts a nervous drink of water. Do you see that for you?
Sure.
You want that?
I think everybody eventually, not everybody, but I think that, you know, eventually when the time is right, absolutely, yeah.
But does married life seem a little boring to you?
Does it seem boring?
A little sedate?
No, I've seen interesting marriages and I've seen not interesting marriages.
And that's about as far as he'll go. His focus, it seems, has always been career. And for Leonardo DiCaprio, so far, it's all gone just as he hoped.
People talk about what has changed throughout your career. How's your taste changed? What kind of person or actor do you want to become? I knew at 15 years old, like, this is the kind of actor I want to be. These are the type of movies I want to do, and that's it. It's an honor to be able to be a working actor. Period. I'm not going to squander this opportunity.